I want to bring up something. I want to just throw in something that I find very funny and very beautiful. That has not so much to do with the language of the Quran, but rather with the authorship of the Quran. I just thought about that, and I have to throw this in here because I find it so nice. So here's a Quran verse which says,
this is funny.
And we certainly know that they say it is only a human being who teaches him. The tongue of the one they refer to is foreign, and this recitation is in a clear Arabic language.
Yeah.
What this grammar is actually saying, so it is saying that they say, so the people around Muhammad who doubt Muhammad's message and who doubt all these recitations and their divine origin, they apparently say it is only a human being who teaches him. So there is somebody there among them who teaches Muhammad these things, which is why he is making up these revelations, because he gets these from some guy who is among these people.
Yeah.
And then the Quran later clarifies, but the language of that guy that you are referring to is foreign, and this Quran is in clear Arabic language, so it can't be that he's taking it from that guy. But it's funny that the Quran is actually,
it's hilarious. One of us should make a video called like Allah's dumbest responses to arguments, right? Because he has things like this, right? Like, and they ask, why isn't Muhammad sent with a miracle? And Allah's response is, because other people from other generations had rejected miracles, therefore you don't get any. It's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. But this is another one that just doesn't make sense, right? It's like the accusation is that Muhammad is getting these revelations. There you got it. There you have it, AP.
Uh-huh.
The accusation is that Muhammad is getting these revelations from this guy that he's talking to. In the Muslim sources, they even know who that's referring to, right?
Yeah.
And so, in other words,
traitor, apparently.
And this is apparently the reason that Muhammad was called the ear, or that people would say he's all ears and believes whatever anyone tells him, is that this guy's telling him, hey, let me tell you about Jesus. Hey, let me tell you about Moses. Hey, let me tell you about this. Let me tell you about that. Let me tell you about Dhul Qarnayn. And Muhammad's listening to this dude, and he's coming out the next day and saying, I have received the revelation from the Almighty. Praise Allah. Right? And so he would come out there, and the people are noticing this, going, wait a minute, you keep talking to this dude who has all these stories, and then the next day you come out and you've got this story that you received from Allah, right?
Yeah.
And they point this out, but then Allah gives a response and says, no. That man is not a native Arabic speaker, whereas the Quran is in Arabic. So there's no way that Muhammad could be getting these stories from this other man. Now, you Muslims are watching. Do you really not understand how stupid and insane this is? If I write a book right now, I say, look, ladies and gentlemen, I wrote a book. It's called Crime and Punishment. It's about this guy. His name's Raskolnikov, and he murders some people and to take their money. And then, he eventually goes to jail after he confesses and stuff. And man, it's a real page turner that I just wrote. And you say, wait a minute. You're not the one who wrote that. Dostoevsky wrote that. And my response is, what are you talking about? Dostoevsky wrote in Russian, and this book's in English. So there's no way I got the story from him. There is no person on this planet stupid enough to fall for that. There is no, out of the 7 billion plus people on this planet, 7 billion plus would see right through that and think that is the most idiotic response anyone has ever uttered. And yet we go to the Quran, and when Muhammad is accused of plagiarizing stories from this dude that he keeps getting stories from, Allah's response is, no, that's impossible. This is in Arabic, whereas that guy's not a native Arabic speaker. It's impossible. I think
you have to visualize how these revelations, how these Quran verses come into existence. These revelations come into existence by Muhammad simply sitting there or standing there and having an episode or something and just starting to sing these or to speak these Quran verses in a very strange way. And people around him then notice, this is a revelation from Allah. So what is happening is that Muhammad keeps talking to this guy. He keeps talking to this guy, comes out and gives revelations from Allah. After he talks to that guy, he gives out revelations that rhyme in a strange way. And people then come and say, dude, it looks like you're just getting these stories from that guy over there because you keep talking to him and then you come in here and you start rhyming. What is that about? It looks like you are just getting this stuff from him. So what, and then what Muhammad does is he goes back and then he goes, I'm receiving a revelation. I'm receiving a revelation right now. Hold on, guys, quiet.
Alhamdulillah!
Guys, please, quiet. I'm receiving a revelation. They say that he only receives this from a human being, but the person they refer to, he speaks a different language, but this is in pure Arabic. Subhanallah. And that solves the problem. This is how Allah quickly intervened and saved Muhammad from embarrassment. Fantastic.
And Allah responded from all eternity. So keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
Allah knew from all eternity that Muhammad would be accused of plagiarizing from this guy that he keeps talking to.
Yeah.
And Allah had all eternity to figure out how he's going to how he's going to answer this accusation. And he could have just had the guy never meet Muhammad so that he could never, the accusation would never come up. Instead, Allah comes up with his response, which is translation from one language to another is impossible in all circumstances.
That's so dumb. Why does the Quran even deal with this stuff? I mean, why does the Quran even spend time responding to these things in such a pretty way?
Allah would have been better off just keeping quiet about this, right? Just ignore the accusation. Because every time he responds to an accusation, it's the stupidest response I've ever heard. Like any 5-year-old would be able to see through this immediately.
This verse here is causing doubts in people's minds. Additionally, it sounds very stupid. It is embarrassing. It is laughable. And Muslims sit there trying to save the Quran from embarrassment. What is the point of doing this? Is this really the almighty, brilliant Allah, the giant mind of the creator? I mean, I'm not as stupid as to do something like this. What the hell is this?
Keep in mind, no one is, right? Like, this is what you Muslims are telling you. This is what you're telling me about God. Right? This is why this stuff actually ticks me off. You're talking about God here, and you're telling me that the creator of the universe is trying to answer an objection, and he gives a response that is so stupid, that is so insanely stupid, that no one except for Muhammad's immediate followers would believe it for 1 second, because, well, you have to believe it or you get your head chopped off, right?
Yeah.
Like, you have to be literally threatened with your head being chopped off in order not to see through this immediately. That's how bad Allah's responses are. All right, let's go.